Hi, Steve Gamache here with a Chef Knives to Go quick look product video on the Kajihara Kudauchi Gyuto 210mm knife. This line of knives has a core steel of Aogami or blue number 2 carbon steel. The heat treat's about 62 Rockwell on that core steel, and it is clad. The construction is a softer iron cladding over the top of that steel core, so you can see the core steel at the edge very easily there. And then this cladding has a Kudauchi finish or blacksmith finish over the top of that, and then you got your sandblasting where they've ground it down towards the edge from the face of the knife. So this is the face of the knife, and then you have what's called the blade road where it's ground down towards the edge. This has a fairly slick KU finish on it. It's not super textured. You've got some embossed kanji there as well. The knife weight, this is not a lightweight knife, is 6.8 ounces, and the overall blade length is about 215, so it's a little oversized. And the overall length is about 14.6 inches. Now, this is kind of a thick, heavier type blade. That's the style of blade that it is. So it's fairly thick right out of the handle. Let's get the camera to kick in. There we go. Right out of the handle, it actually thickens up, but it's about 4.3 millimeters right here. And then it tapers down a bit and then just pretty much holds that all the way through. Slight tapering, but not much distal taper all the way through the tip. Mostly the taper comes where the grind starts down around here. The heel height is about 48.8, almost 49 millimeters. And the handle type is just a really nicely done rosewood buffalo horn ferrule handle with good fit and finish, and pretty decent handle install at the tang handle junction as well. It's an oval handle, so it's ambidextrous. The handle circumference right here at the junction is about 3 inches, pretty standard size, and it feels pretty good in the hand. This has a fairly thin neck, so you get plenty of clearance for your fingers. And fit and finish is actually not bad on this knife. It's got a well-crafted feel to it. It is a substantial blade. One of the defining characteristics of this knife is this flat profile. So you can see there's not a lot of belly to this knife. The tip comes down to meet the edge more than the edge coming up to meet the tip. So this is an overall quite a flat profile knife. That's one of its real defining characteristics. The other characteristic is it's not a skinny blade. It's not super thin at the edge. It's convexed a bit almost at the last second towards the edge. You get some convexing starting at the blade road, but it's kind of convex right into the edge. I was a little apprehensive at actually testing this because I bought one of these sometime back, and to be honest with you, the one I had previously, which was some months ago, was Wedge City. It was very thick knife, thicker than this. The edge was extremely thick at the tip, and it just did not go through ingredients very well at all. It got me quite frustrated, to be honest with you. So I was a little apprehensive at testing this, but I'm pleased to report that they've thinned this knife out. And while it's not skinny at the tip, it does go through ingredients decently enough, and you'll get some lift on onions doing cross cuts and so on, but it's definitely acceptable. The previous one was, like I said, Wedge City. To me, this knife really excels in the flat area. So it's not good for detail work at the tip, but if you like a flat knife and you like a long flat section, this flat section goes through things much nicer. It's actually a pretty good overall performing knife, and as I said, it's got a very well-crafted feel to it. It's a knife you want to like. So in my opinion, they've changed the grind enough to make this a pretty nice knife. It's not as thin as some other KU knives, but if you want a more substantial blade, it's very stiff with, like I said, a little bit of weight to it. This would be a great candidate for you. So there you have the Kajihara KU, Kudauchi Gyuto 210mm knife.